Hi everyone, I'm Christy Goranson and welcome to Washington Grown. It's a known fact that Washington grows a variety of crops. This episode is all about another crop our state is the #1 producer of, sweet corn. We're checking out one of the swankiest restaurants in the area, El Gaucho, where we'll whip up one of their most popular side dishes, fire-roasted sweet corn.
It is delicious. It's so good.
And sweet corn ice cream. It's a thing. We made some, and Tomas is seeing if people in Spokane can guess what flavor it is.
That's like nothing I've tasted.
Then we're at Quincy Foods, getting a behind-the-scenes look at how fresh ears of corn become the cobs and kernels we buy at the grocery store. All this and much more on Washington Grown.
Are you ready to cook me up?
Okay, I don't have the hang of this.
So this is where we get our water.
Cheers.
Hopefully they won't eat my shoelaces. Our first stop today is at El Gaucho in Seattle. Walking through the doors, guests are transported to a place of serenity where all of their troubles are left at the door. It's a premier steakhouse where the servers wear tuxedos and you may need to borrow a flashlight for your menu. The live piano jazz, calming ambiance, and of course, exquisite food make any night at El Gaucho one to remember.
The food obviously is some of the best in the city. It's fantastic.
Whenever you come here, it's always top quality, from the customer service to the food. You feel like you're the only guest here and you're not just a member.
And executive chef Matt Branzi says that's what El Gaucho is all about.
We go to every length to make sure that people feel comfortable, and we make sure that everything is just impeccable as far as the service goes and the food. And this place it's magical. It has so many different elements to it, from the food to the service, but what it really boils down to is just the experience that the guest has.
But not pretentious in any way.
Oh, absolutely not. It might be a little intimidating at first, but it's all about just taking care of the guest and making sure that they feel comfortable, and I think we succeed in that.
So tell me about the food.
I'm like a kid in a candy store. I get to play with some pretty awesome ingredients every day. From our steaks, we're using 28-day dry-aged certified Angus beef prime. We use that same kind of quality, and just kind of resonated throughout the whole menu.
And Washington grown products. You guys use that a lot.
Absolutely. We work with a farm out in eastern Washington, and they supply us with tomatoes and melons and peppers. It's wonderful, wonderful stuff.
Coming up, we're hopping in the kitchen with Chef Matt to cook up El Gaucho's famous fire-roasted sweet corn. It's like summertime.
Totally.
In a spoonful. Now I'm off to George to meet up with Eric Williamson and his family, who grow acres of Washington's fantastic sweet corn.
If we keep stopping at cornfields, they'll think we're stalkers.
So this is about ready to go?
Yeah, this is probably roughly a week away from harvest. And,
A week away.
you can see it's already turning yellow. And it's really good.
Looking.
Really good. So that's just right. You want an ear?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Just rip it off.
Yeah, there you go.
That is pretty. Look at that. You just come out, grab some for dinner.
I do it all the time.
That's delicious. That's what corn should taste like.
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges that you face as a corn farmer?
With all farming, you've got weather and insects and diseases and weeds. You can get what they call a corn earworm. They're like a ugly caterpillar looking thing that's eating the corn down inside the husk.
No,
and so
not good.
We have moth traps, and you monitor them daily. The processor actually does that, and they monitor for, until they catch a certain number of moths, and then they will spray. Some fields never have to be sprayed. Some fields end up getting sprayed a couple times.
Yeah.
You got to make sure you have adequate moisture, but you don't want to overwater it, waste water. And we do weekly soil nitrate tests to determine how much nitrogen to apply so that we're not over or under applying. You want the plant to have what it needs.
Williamson Farms has been around for quite a while, generations, right?
I'm the 4th generation.
Wow.
And my sons are the 5th.
I met up with Eric's son Josh to see what life on the farm is all about.
We want to know kind of what it's like growing up on a farm. What do you love about it?
Well, I love working on summer days. It's fun.
What kind of work do you do?
Well, sometimes I pull rocks out of fields and pull weeds out of the fields too. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
What else do you love about it?
Well, I guess it's just open and free.
Are you a good driver?
Yes.
Do you want to drive me around?
Yes.
Okay. Do it.
I drive to work every day on a four-wheeler.
Drive to work every day.
Josh drove me over to meet his 2 brothers, Caleb and Ethan.
So what do you like about being on the farm?
Well, just that it's kind of all a family operation. I mean, we can work together real easy on the farm and then, be brothers at home.
What's the future for you?
Actually this fall, I'm going to be attending WSU to get my degree in agronomy, which is kind of like crop and soil sciences, and I eventually plan to come back here.
What would you like people to know about farmers here in Washington?
Most of your farmers in Washington are just your average family farm, and they're happy to talk about anything on the farm. So if you have any questions about agriculture, I would just go talk to your local farmer.
One of my favorite stops at the Interstate Fair is biting into an ear of fresh market sweet corn that's been flame roasted. Sweet corn has a higher natural sugar content than other varieties of corn, and it has to be fresh or the delicate sugars quickly lose their sweetness. Americans aren't the only people who enjoy larger portion sizes, as thousands of years ago, Mayan farmers bred corn to nearly modern-day sizes. In Washington State, corn grows tall and is a leading producer for sweet corn production. Corn is one of the few foods that humans eat lathe-style, and eating your kernels in neat concentric circles might tell you something about yourself. It's versatile too, and during winter months, frozen corn kernels can be heated and added to casseroles, tacos, soups, stews, and stir-fries. From a nutritional perspective, corn provides respectable amounts of fiber, protein, and the mineral magnesium. And an average ear of corn is less than 100 calories. Sweet corn's white or yellow coloring also provides functional compounds that are good for vision health. Most Americans have been alerted to overconsuming high fructose corn sweetener, which is a byproduct of corn. Instead of focusing on avoiding high fructose corn sweetener, I'd encourage you to practice mindful intake of all your food, whether it's donuts, corn, beans, fruit, vegetables, candy, or soda. Corn has been around for thousands of years and is a staple crop of Washington, whether you eat it in neat little rows or munch it from side to side.
Coming up, we're back at El Gaucho and stepping in the kitchen with the chef to whip up their famous fire-roasted sweet corn. And Tomas is in Spokane with some sweet corn ice cream, seeing if people can figure out what flavor it is. We're back at El Gaucho in Seattle. It's known as one of the finest steakhouses in the area, with a dark, calming ambiance that helps you forget the outside world.
It's very calming and relaxing.
We come here for special occasions because we get that superior service across the board.
It's a special place with a special menu, and food's really good.
This place has so many different elements to it, from the food to the serves, but what it really boils down to is just the experience that the guest has when they come in.
Now we're heading to the kitchen to cook up a dish of our own with the help of executive chef Matt Branzi.
We're going to make one of the most popular dishes here at El Gaucho?
One of the most popular side dishes, yes.
So what is it?
It is a roasted sweet corn with a chipotle honey butter.
That sounds delicious.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty simple. Basic ingredients of just your regular
Good
sweet corn.
old Washington corn.
Absolutely.
Gotta love it. Is there a trick to shucking corn?
You know, I don't think so. It's just kind of like it's a natural.
Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know if you had like some special chef thing.
No, I wish I did.
Of course, you gave
There
me
you
the
go.
hard one.
I know, huh? Sorry. Nice.
Getting a workout today.
Nice work.
Yeah,
It's all in your
Thank you.
biceps.
After shucking the ears of corn, we oil them and set them aside. Then we mix some butter with chipotle and honey.
One time I was doing a recipe with chipotle peppers and I thought it said 1 can of chipotle. It only meant 1 chipotle.
1 chipotle. Surprise.
Surprise.
It's hot. That's
So
a lot
don't
of
make that mistake.
That's a lot of chipotles.
Yeah.
Then it's time to throw our corn on the grill.
Now I do have to warn you,
Yeah.
when we're grilling corn, it's like throwing a bunch of bottle rockets into a bonfire.
Oh, well, thanks for making me
Yeah,
stand
so
over here.
it's kind of, it shoots random at you. I mean, all the
Okay.
sugars, like, they'll explode and the kernels will actually shoot
Oh,
at you.
so we wear goggles.
Yeah, I'm going to stand up here.
Okay.
While our ears of corn are grilling, it's time to cook up another El Gaucho favorite, steak, topped with a special El Gaucho seasoning.
It's a really, really top secret recipe. Can't share it, sorry. Just going to make a little room for our steaks.
All right. Now those spices smell really good.
Salt and pepper.
Okay. He's gonna tell
Salt and
us
pepper,
the secret.
cayenne, paprika, garlic powder, onion powder. Hear it start popping.
Yeah, I do.
It's like a war zone.
I'm glad you're over there.
Yeah.
Is there anything special that people need to know on how to grill a perfect steak?
One of the biggest things is heat regulation. Like my brother-in-law, he likes to crank up his gas grill.
The brother-in-law. We're calling out the brother-in-law.
It gets it all like just crazy hot, and then he just ends up charring everything. So
Sure.
usually with gas grills, is what I like to do is have the left side be just scorching hot,
Scorching hot.
medium in the middle,
Uh-huh.
and basically like low or off on the right side.
Kind of move it.
So I'm doing all my exactly.
I always get the grill marks mixed up.
Just gotta remember
just
10 and 2.
10 and 2.
10 and 2. It's like
10
driving a
and
car.
2. That's it, yeah.
That's exactly what you want right there. That's
so
lots of good caramelization.
caramelization,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
Okay.
When our cobs are finished, we pull them from the grill and cut off the kernels.
In the summertime, when we get the sweetest corn here locally, we'll save the core
Yeah.
and we'll make gelato out of them. So we'll steep them.
Really?
Steep them in milk and sugar and honey, and then we'll put it through our ice cream machine.
Wow.
Utilize everything.
Using everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that idea.
Then we put our corn in a pan, add some of our butter mixture, and saute it all together.
We're all good here. We've got it all sauteed up.
We cut up our steaks.
Wow, that looks amazing.
Then it's time for the best part.
After you.
Ready? It's like summertime
Totally.
in a spoonful. It is delicious. It's so good. Thank you so much. This is just a great, easy way to have a delicious summer meal with Washington grown food.
Absolutely. Yeah, it all starts with the ingredients.
Thank
And
you.
You don't have to do much to them.
I love it. Let's eat some more, shall we?
Absolutely.
Okay.
To get the recipe for El Gaucho's fire-roasted sweet corn, visit our website at wagrown.com. Almost everyone looks forward to that first fresh ear of sweet corn each summer, but farmers face significant obstacles to grow the best sweet corn. I spoke with Tim Waters, a vegetable specialist with WSU, about the many challenges these farmers face.
Most of the problems are insect pests, major problems. So for example, seed corn maggot is a big pest. Wireworms can also be a pest of the roots, and that's the larvae of a beetle. But really the major insect pest is corn earworm.
So how does WSU Extension, how do you guys help these growers with these pests?
So they manage these pests typically with insecticide applications, and they've been doing that for a long time. So our role is to try to help them understand which products work the best in controlling this pest and when to apply those. And then also there's been a lot of technology developed in the last 15 years regarding genetically modified organisms, and there's GM sweet corn available now. So that's a tool that growers could use that could reduce pesticide inputs significantly in the sweet corn crop. For corn earworm, growers are probably making 4 to 6 insecticide applications just to control that pest, whereas BT corn would not require any insecticide applications to control earworm.
What exactly is BT corn?
So BT corn has genes of a naturally occurring soil bacteria in the plant that prevents the earworms from developing in the corn. So in a traditional non-modified crop, the earworm will start to feed in the ear, and it won't die unless it gets contact with a pesticide.
Just get fat and happy.
Just get fat and happy. So here we're using a bacteria that's in the plant to control the pest without making any insecticide applications. You reduce the number of pesticides that are used. It's less expensive for the grower because they're not having to apply and pay for those pesticides. It's better for the environment because we're not putting extra pesticide into the environment, and it's safer to consumers too. This is BT corn right here.
Good looking ear of corn.
Good looking ear of corn, no earworms on it whatsoever. This ear of corn was grown at our research farm, but it's got earworm damage on it, and then the beast is actually down in here hiding from us now. Most consumers, if they get an ear like this that has that feeding damage and insect frass, which is basically insect poop in it. Yeah, I would not be happy with that. People are not happy feeding that to their family or putting it in a pot to boil it.
Insect poop.
Insect poop or frass, yep.
Yeah. We don't want to eat that.
While most sweet corn in Washington is not BT corn, Tim says numerous studies prove it's safe for people to eat. And it's been approved by the FDA, the EPA, and the USDA. BT corn allows farmers to be more environmentally friendly while providing people with healthy, beautiful ears of corn.
You know, when I think of summertime, I'm thinking of fresh ears of sweet corn. I may not think, though, of sweet dessert made with corn. Well, our friends here at Brain Freeze Creamery have done just that. They've taken sweet corn and made a tasty ice cream that I'm going to take around to our friends here in Spokane and see if they can guess this tasty flavor. So, do you guys like ice cream?
Of course, yeah.
Tell me some of your favorite flavors of ice cream.
Vanilla.
Vanilla, okay, there you go, Mr. Classic.
I can't think of any I don't like.
My favorite's chocolate. Peanut butter.
Ooh, there you go.
That is the favorite.
Peach ice cream is a good one.
Vanilla?
Vanilla? Just straight up, just vanilla.
Hey, there isn't really much of an ice cream that I don't like.
Well, great then, because we have a delicious ice cream here that I want you to give a try. And tell me if you can guess what the flavor is.
Okay.
I don't have the faintest idea. It tastes buttery.
Really? Okay.
Peach? Oatmeal?
Coconut?
Is it good?
Yes.
When I tell you what it is, it's gonna hit you in the face. You're gonna be like,
that's like nothing I've tasted.
The ice cream you've tried is sweet corn.
Oh my goodness, yes. Corn?
Yes.
Wow, I would have never guessed that.
Is it good?
It's really good.
Now that you say that, I go, yeah, it is. But I would not have gotten that on my own.
It's not bad. I'll probably stick to chocolate.
How does corn from the fields become the cobs and kernels we find in our grocery stores? To find out, we visited Quincy Foods, where Chris Scott gave us a behind-the-scenes look at how locally grown corn is frozen and packaged to be sent out all over the world. After being freshly harvested, corn is delivered to Quincy by the truckloads. The corn then starts its journey by going through a machine that removes the husks.
All that hard work you guys do at home, get done in 2 seconds.
The leftover husks are recycled and sold back to the farmers as silage for cows and pigs.
That's actually really high quality silage. It's in good demand. So all of our product, again, all the water that comes through the system goes through that building and everything is sustainable.
The corn's next step is to be sent out to a conveyor belt to be inspected.
And what our wonderful employees are doing right now is looking at each cob to find the perfect one. Those go to be packaged and frozen as individual cobs. Anything else goes down the belt and it goes to get cut. It's a natural product, you know, we're not making nuts and bolts. We've got to work with what we have.
Next, the corn goes through different cutting machines depending on what product it will become. One machine strips all the corn's kernels off in mere seconds.
So when it comes out, you can see a majority of those kernels are all gone.
Wow.
And they do it just...
And that's just like that.
So you can see our total production of corn right here.
Wow.
When you get stuff from overseas or another part of the country, they need to ship it. And sometimes that product is picked before its optimum pick time. What we do is we grow it to its maximum potential and harvest it as close to that which we possibly can, which means you have higher sugars, better nutrients, and then we freeze it immediately.
After a rinse, both the cob and kernel products are sent to be blanched.
So that's what's happening here?
Yep. So in that huge chamber right there, it's getting cooked, and this is cool down. So after it gets into 195, we try to cool it down as quick as possible before we get it to freezing.
Chris offered me a cob to taste, and of course my answer was yes.
That corn that was out in the field and ran through our cutters has now been cooked and ready for freezing. So, yeah, this is the best time to eat the corn.
After our snack, he showed me a separating machine that the kernel products go through.
Really cool technology. Each little corn goes underneath a camera in here. And so if there's any kind of ham, which is a little bit of cob or something that gets in there, this machine sees it and shoots it out. So everything that comes in is just the corn kernel, nothing else. But that way we're making sure we get the best quality to the customer.
The corn is then quickly sent to the large freezer, which stays between -5 to -10 degrees. This is where the corn becomes frozen for packaging while keeping in all of its freshness and nutrients. Once it's frozen, the corn is packaged and ready to be sent out to local and international customers.
It's packaged in these individual 1 kg packages and goes to Japan.
Hey, that's cool.
We do a whole slew of different packages here.
Whether you like yours straight off the cob or cut into kernels, sweet corn is another crop that our state grows well. That's it for this episode of Washington Grown. Thanks for watching.